Hello everybody, this is Pocket Zombie and welcome back to another Pokemon Pocket video. This week we have a new deck to be looking at, and we'll get a few battles with it, of course. So as you can see on the screen, this week we're going to be looking at Articuno EX alongside Lapras EX. Now, if you've been playing Pokemon Pocket, you've run into this deck. It's a very popular deck, one that very much lives or dies by a coin flip. So we're going to go over the cards that I'm using in this deck and then get a few battles with it. First off, we do have Articuno EX. It has 2 attacks, Ice Wing, which only costs 2 energy for 40 damage, and then Blizzard for 3 water energies, does 80 damage and 10 damage to each Pokemon on the bench. So you can spread out a ton of damage, start softening up the weaker mons on the bench before you get them up to the active spot. Articuno EX does have 140 HP, which isn't a ton for an EX, but with its low energy cost and high damage, it can be pretty useful. Now, alongside the Articuno EX, we're going to be running the Lapras EX. This is a promo card from an event that just happened recently. Another 3 energy attacking Mon, does 80 damage as well, but with Bubble Drain, you heal 20 damage from this Pokemon. So Lapras, although it has the same HP pool as Articuno, is there to try and bulk out hits and live a little bit longer than Articuno would. So these are the only 2 Pokemon we're running in this deck. Of course, we're running a lot of the similar trainer cards that you'll see in a lot of decks. You got Potions, X Speeds, Pokeballs, which Pokeball is going to search any Mon that you have in this deck. There's no evolutions, so Pokeball will get everything you need. I'm running 2 Hand Scopes and 2 red cards. The combo of those 2 together, you can kind of mess with your opponent, especially evolution decks that are relying to have those evolutions in their hand the next turn. You can look to see if they have them, and then shuffle them back into their deck. Do the 2 Professors Research, 1 Giovanni, 1 Sabrina, and then there are 2 Misties in this deck. Misty is the most important card of this deck, if you have not seen it yet. With Misty, you get to choose one of your water Pokemon, flip a coin until you get tails. For each heads, take a water energy from your energy zone and attach it to that Pokemon. This card is important for this deck to work because of the 3 energy cost. It takes a little bit too long for Articuno and Lapras to get powered up. So some of the faster decks will just outspeed and kill your big EXs and get 2 points right away. So with Misty, even on turn 1, you could get energy attaches, and on turn 1, you could get 3 energy attached and attack right away. It's pretty devastating when that happens, and a lot of people don't like this deck because of it, because it is pretty cheap when you can just get an attack right away, turn 1 when you're not supposed to in this game, and Misty, I believe, is the only way you can do that currently, get an attack off right away. Yeah, because I think things like Brock only attach to Onyx and Golem, which need a lot more energy, and obviously Golem is an evolution. So if you do miss the coin flip, and if you go, especially if you miss the coin flip on Misty and you go first, it's really bad for this deck. So it is very much a hit or miss. I guess they never miss, huh? Except for me. I never hit the Misty coin flips. I don't know what it is. Maybe I don't do the coin flip right. Maybe there's a little bit of a trick. But we're gonna do the battles, do the battles that we do here on the channel with this deck today. If you want to try out the deck for yourself, the deck list will be in the description below. Otherwise, let's get into some battles here. We are going first, unfortunately. So hopefully we have a Misty in our hand right away. Doesn't look like it, at least from our first draw, so here's the hoping that we pull it off the second one, or our opponent has a very slow start. There's our Bulbasaur, so that kind of helps us. Okay, turn 1, we top deck another Articuno. I could put it down, but I don't really need to at this point. I can Professor's Research, see if we can draw into a Misty for next turn. We get a Lapras and an X Speed. Alright. Alrighty then. Yeah, I don't really need to put down the Articuno right now. Not that a Sabrina would really mess us up here, but if next turn we attach and then they Sabrina us, it'd be a little annoying. So, we're going to see a Pokeball. Let's see what kind of variant this Bulbasaur is, unless they just pull another Bulbasaur. I've really only seen Bulbasaur Lilligant and Bulbasaur Butterfree. Bulbasaur Butterfree didn't get to do anything, though. So we'll see. It's going to be Bulbasaur Lilligant. Luckily, the Bulbasaur isn't active unless they have an X speed to get it out of there. They are going to attach to the Petalil. God, if we would have had a Misty turn 1, even if it was just for 2, we could Sabrina up that Petalil this turn. It would have been nice. Unfortunately, we grab a hand scope, which isn't great. Yeah, I think we just energy attach and pass. Yeah. Supporter could be played, but I don't really need to. Playing Sabrina would just help them, because then they can Lilligant next turn really easily. We're going to see the Professor's Research for 2. Let's see a Pokeball. For the Petalil. And an X speed so they can get the Bulbasaur. Are they active? Bring in the Petalil. I assume evolve into Lilligant. And then attack. Yep. Energy attach and attack. So they're already off to the races. They're already having a good time over there. We are not. We are not yet. We do get to Ice Wing this turn. And we pull Lapras. Our Misties just don't want to show up today. So they can't knock us out next turn. Oh, but we need something to happen next turn as well. So I'm going to Ice Wing here. And like once they have Venusaur ready to go, if we aren't like chugging at that point, we're just kind of in a bad spot, unfortunately. This deck lives or dies by that Misty, and we haven't even pulled it to even lose the coin flip, so. Okay. Yeah, they're gonna, so I can't KO the Petalil, or Lilligant, sorry. They're going to promote their other Lilligant and attach an energy. If they don't evolve into Ivysaur here, oh, they don't. Did they not attach an energy? That's interesting. I'm going to potion up. Attach an energy for the turn. I can finally put down this Articuno because if I get Sabrina next turn, we're fine. And now I can Sabrina because then we can KO either the Bulbasaur or the Lilligant. I assume they're going to promote their Lilligant. Yeah, because they don't want their Bulbasaur going down here. Still no Misty, huh? Alright, we'll Blizzard. So KO the Lilligant, soften everybody else up. That actually softens up the Bulbasaur. So that if it evolves into Ivysaur here, and it was promoted, we'd KO it. But unfortunately, they're going to promote the Lilligant, and we don't have another Sabrina in this deck. They're going to actually Sabrina me. This is why I waited. This is why I waited to put my other Articuno in. Because next turn, if I need to, I can just attach to the Articuno and retreat it. They're just not pulling in Ivysaur, it looks like, which is their big issue right now. Just working it in our favor. I pull another hand scope, man. Okay, water energy on the Articuno. I can actually play 2 X speeds here. So that I don't have to even waste my energy attached for the turn. And then retreat into Articuno. And then we have a Giovanni in our hand. So we can play Giovanni, which will allow us to KO the Lilligant. And also put that Bulbasaur into KO range. So I believe Ivysaur has 90 HP Mon. So we should just win off of this. Just pretty nice. Especially for how poorly of a draw we had, not getting any Misties. We were just fortunate enough my opponent wasn't getting their evolutions. Let's see. Let us see. If they have a potion or an Erica, they would be able to survive the turn. And, well, they need a potion or an Erica and Ivysaur. And they just concede. Yeah, they just weren't pulling their Ivysaurs, unfortunately. So we do pull out a victory on the first one, even without Misty. We're gonna see if we can get Misty and get some good coin flips on our next match, though. We are going second this time, which is nice, even if we don't hit the Misty. Which we do pull a Misty for our opening hand, so we'll see how this goes. Cross our fingers. Hope we get at least one heads would be nice. It's gonna be a Ralts to lead off, so we're facing against Mewtwo, most likely. The only time I've ever seen Ralts outside of Mewtwo is Jinx, which is just like a lower prize point deck. Oh, there's going to be Drowsy, though, so going for the Hypno Sleeps. Just a little annoying, and they're going to actually retreat into Drowsy. So, if we hit a big Misty here, we can get rid of Drowsy, which would be really nice. I do have the energy, which I might as well attach to Articuno. We don't have any other Pokemon on the field before we play this Misty. So here we go. Coin flip. There's the one head. Two heads. We get to Blizzard right away. Perfect. This, hey, we're loving this. A deck is finally working on video. We love this. All right, so Drowsy out of the way right away, and that sets up Ralts to be KO'd because Kirlia, I think Kirlia only has 80, so we would have KO'd it anyway. And they're just going to insta-concede. It's kind of how it goes, unfortunately. If the Articuno decks hits their Misties, they just kind of win. So, insta-concede for my opponent. I'd like to get Lapras running in this next match. I can't guarantee that, obviously. That was just like a perfect Articuno start. But we're going to get another match in here, see if we can get Lapras going. This time we're going to be going second again. Not too shabby. Do we start with a Misty again? We do. Misty Articuno. Handful of supporters, which isn't awesome because we can't really do anything outside of the Misty. But if we hit the Misty, we're just kind of good to go. So, and honestly, not having the other cards isn't too bad. You know, like having Hand Scope and Red Card right away would be nice, because then we can kind of look to see if they're ready to evolve in their next turn. It's going to be Caterpie, so probably Caterpie Bulbasaur. Fortunately, they don't get the energy attached right away, because the nice thing about Caterpie is then you can search for your Bulbasaurs, or I think you can search for any grass type. Let's see here. Random grass Pokemon from your deck. Yeah, so you can get your Ivysaurs, your Venusaurs, all that fun stuff. We're going to see the Bulbasaur. And a Petalil. They're running both Lilligant and Caterpie. Interesting. Okay, we pull our Sabrina. Get our energy attached for the turn, and then we will Misty our Articuno. Let's get a couple heads again. There's the tails. Yep, that's kind of how it goes, unfortunately. So my opponent's going to be able to search for Pokemon next turn. So I wouldn't mind hitting the Hand Scope and the Red Card. We're going to see the Bulbasaur evolve into Ivysaur. And they're actually going to energy attach the Ivysaur instead of the Caterpie. That's interesting. I can Professor's Research here to grab Lapras and a Pokeball. Honestly, I probably should have just played Giovanni this turn instead of the Professor's Research. I was trying to hit the Red Card Hand Scope, but that didn't happen. I'm going to play Pokeball. Might as well, right? Pull another Lapras. I don't want to put Lapras down because Lapras has such a big retreat cost, and we're not ready to Blizzard yet, so I can Ice Wing, set this Caterpie back to 10, and then next turn we can actually Sabrina and get a lot of damage off, as well as the KO on the Caterpie. I see the Venusaur evolution, so my opponent's going to take a little time to get that full attack going. The next turn they can only do their 60 damage. So it's either they have to give up 2 points, or their Venusaur has to take damage next turn, which will be nice. We do get Red Card here, which isn't really going to help us at this point, because they already have the Venusaur out. So I will Sabrina. I assume you promote your Petalil because you don't want your Venusaur taking damage. I mean, the Venusaur taking damage wouldn't be the end of the world, because next turn you could Erica and Potion, probably. They are going to promote the pet a little, though. So, to get this Blizzard off with Articuno, to get 2 KOs and make the Venusaur have to become the active spot. They're going to be able to do 60 damage to us, but then I get to Blizzard them next turn. It's just trying to out-stall the Venusaur at this point, because it's going to be healing itself and it's going to have supporter cards to help it. We're going to see, of course, the Razor Leaf. I do get a potion. The potion... The only way the potion will help us is if we get a Professor's Research into another potion. Because next turn they're going to KO me. Hand Scope, X Speed. Not what I needed. But I will look, see if they have like Ericas and stuff. They have a Sabrina and 2 Ericas in their hand. They also have the Lilligant. I am going to red card them. Just to try and slow them down a bit. And I don't want to get Sabrina into my Lapras. Not that they need to, because they're going to KO my Articuno here. Bring in Lapras. Water Energy onto Lapras. Yeah, the lack of missing the second potion kind of sucks. We're no Blizzard here, but they will guaranteed get back to 130 next turn. So it's just going to be if Lapras or Venusaur can stall each other out, and Venusaur is in a much better position to do so because of Erica. We kind of need to hit a Misty next turn, or I think we just lose. Unfortunately, we need to hit a Misty and the heads on the Misty, at least one, so that Lapras can attack. Let's see the 30 HP recovery. Promote our Lapras. All right, Misty, we need you now more than ever. Yeah, there she is. All right. So let's use the Misty first in case we get 2 heads, then we can bring in our other Lapras. 1 heads, 2 heads, 3 heads, 4 heads. I mean, that's more than we needed. But thank you, Misty. And then I can bring in my other Lapras and just attach a water energy to it. And we can Bubble Drain. So having that Lapras get set up so well by that Misty, as well as the having the second Lapras is really going to help us here, because then we can retreat into our other Lapras. Whereas our opponent doesn't have as much of an opportunity to retreat because they already sacrificed 2 points. There's the Erica, so it's just going to like undo all the damage we just did, which kind of sucks. Here's the Giant Bloom. Brings us down to 40, so I do have to retreat this turn. The Hand Scope isn't really useful. Actually, shoot. Nah, we lose. Because even retreating this turn doesn't help us, right? Yeah, because I don't have the energy on the other Lapras. So... oh, that sucks. Yeah. Yeah, Lapras having just such a small HP pool and them having Erica and we not getting Misty early enough just kind of unfortunately we lost the game because of it. So I'll just concede. And we'll move on to our next one. See if this time Lapras got into play and got a big Misty, but it was just a little bit too late, unfortunately. So let's do another match here. This time we are going first. So we really need Misty on this attempt, and we got one. Now we just have to hit the heads on it. Even getting 1 heads would be nice, just so we can attack next turn. But obviously getting 3 would be the ideal spot. I do have to hit Start Battle, huh? Farfetch'd and Dratini. This gives us a little extra time to set up, because Dratini takes a long time to build. So I can play the Misty. And here we go. 3 heads, right? 0 heads. Love it. I love it. Yeah, we just pass. We just pass. If if they actually end up changing, like, there's like no rumor that they will, just a lot of people are clamoring for it, so I would hope they would listen, but they probably won't. If they end up changing how turn 1 goes, they'd also have to change how Misty works. I mean, they should change how Misty works in general, to be fair. Oh, another one. Let's see if we can get it this time. Misty, let's go. 3 heads. 1 heads. Okay, 1 heads. I will take that. We'll take that. It's not ideal, but it's what we have to work with. I'm gonna potion up. So they don't have any energy on Dratini yet. And also we have the energy generation. It's going to be another water. And they're just going to attach the Pidgey and evolve into Pidgeotto. And evolve into Dragonair. So less chance of us Sabrina and not that we would have, because they would have just promoted Pidgeotto. We're going to take another 40 here. I get a Lapras. I would love a Sabrina this turn, but here we are, Sabrina-less. Oh, there it is. Ask and you shall receive, I guess. Unfortunately, just a little bit too late. Put down the water energy on the Articuno. I'm going to put down my other Articuno, because we have the X-Speed in hand, and then I can Blizzard, which will KO the Farfetch'd. And at the point that Dragonite comes out, I would enjoy having multiple Pokemon in the field. Or by the time Dragonite's able to attack, I should say. We're going to see the Pidgeotto come out, so Pidgeotto might drive off to get my other Articuno in the active. Nope, they're just going to wing attack. Ouchie pouchy, that hurts. We don't need a red card here. Actually, I'm going to Sabrina here, because the Dragonite is not built up and it needs 3 energy to retreat. And they only have 1 card in their hand, so it's very unlikely they'll be able to retreat Dragonite this next turn. So it'll give me extra time to build up my other Articuno. Plus, I can probably take out the Dragonite before I can get powered up, which would be huge. Huge if true. See the energy attached to the Dragonite. Professor's research, they are going to try and fish for 2x speeds to get Dragonite out of the active, but there's a Pidgey. And do we see X speed at all? Nope, but they are going to drive off to try and pull the same shenanigans I'm pulling. But I do have the X speed, so we're fine, we're fine. So I can play X speed onto Articuno. Retreat the Articuno into other Articuno, which does slow down my energy attaches, but now I can just Blizzard. Maybe staying in and just Ice Winging wouldn't have been the end of the world, because, but it would give them opportunity to get their Dragonite out of the active spot, right? And the Pidgeot shouldn't KO me in 2 hits. Well, they have to KO this Articuno. They'd only get 1 hit off on my other Articuno. They're going to evolve, so that might end up being an issue. If they, like, have Pidgeot in the back and can switch between the 2. But we're going to promote my Articuno. If I could get a hand scope here, this would actually be really nice. Nope, we're going to get a Pokeball. Let's play both the Pokeballs, just get our other Lapras. Not that this is really going to help us here. So let's Ice Wing. So we just have to hope they don't have Pidgeot as their other Mon. But even so, they would need Pidgeot this turn. And they still shouldn't be able to double KO me, or KO me. Yeah, we just win then. We just win now. We got a little bit dicey there, but we do just win. They concede. We did finally get our hand scope, so we get a hand scope red card. But yeah, Articuno pulls out another victory. Let's do one more match with Articuno. Again, we're gunning for Lapras getting some shine in this next match, and see what we can do with it. We're going to be going second this time. Let's see. We just start Articuno, Lapras, and a Misty. Let's go Articuno. I could just like put all my eggs in a basket and go with Lapras right away, but we're going to avoid that. We do have a water type deck from my opponent. The Rapidash. Is it Ninetales and Rapidash? They get Blaine boosted? Or is it Ninetales and somebody else? It might be Arcanine, or it might be Rapidash. So this might be a Blaine deck. Should be interesting. I see the X speed. Alright, Misty. I need you now more than ever. Go! Actually, I needed you more in other... Well, I shouldn't have said anything because then I got Tails. Let's just do an energy attached to the Articuno. And we're not going to put down Lapras because we don't want to get Sabrina into Lapras. This side of my hair is poofing out more than the other. Keep trying to push it back. Rapidash does come out for my opponent. Actually, I haven't seen Rapidash. Like, I own it, but I just don't look at it. How do I see it? Fire Main for 40 damage. Alright, for singular energy. I can just deny all that damage they just did. Which is all I really have going for me. Well, I also have a Sabrina. So I'm going to actually play that. Because I forget what Blaine does, but if I can deny that pretty early on, that'd be nice. So Ice Wing does a big 60 to the Rapidash. Next turn, we're just going to KO it. And leave him with just a Farfetch'd at this point. They are going to promote the Farfetch'd, though. They don't want the Rapidash going down. So, yes, hopefully I figure out what Blaine does in this match, because that'd be interesting to know. We're going to see a Pokeball. I will play the Pokeball. Pokeball. For Articuno. Perfect. That's what I wanted to see off of it. So I can put down Articuno. The Articuno is just so much faster than the Lapras, and the big 3-water energy retreat is really bad for it. So it's a little harder to use than the Articuno. But we're gonna knock out the Farfetch'd to get our first point, and this Rapidash is just in a bad position, unfortunately. I'm gonna see if my opponent gets another bench Pokemon though to work with, or if Blaine is gonna become anything. So I'd like to know what Blaine does. If Blaine doesn't get played, they're gonna Sabrina up my Articuno though. This is why you wait. This is why you wait to put down your other big EX, because if you get Sabrina up in a position where you can't retreat it, it's bad for you. Or if like you have to waste your energy attached for the turn to retreat it. We're gonna see another Lapras, but I do just water energy attach, X speed. We can just clean up this match right away with Articuno. Unfortunately, no Lapras love today. Here comes my Articuno. And we can just Blizzard for the KO. And I do have a pack to open, so we could actually open a pack and see what Blaine does in the video. Because I'm not aware of what Blaine does. Because I just don't run into it. So, let's do that real quick. Here is our pack openings. I've been opening Pikachu packs because I'm trying to make a Pikachu deck for you guys, and for myself, to be fair. No rares. You can kind of turn the cards to see if you have any super rares in the back, but none. We got Onix, Snom, come on, Minchino, Wooloo, and Lilligant. So, nothing even new, unfortunately. Now let's go take a look to see what Blaine does. So Blaine, during this turn, attacks used by your Ninetales, Rapidash, or Magmar do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So that's 70 damage from a Rapidash with a single energy, which is pretty nice. It wouldn't have really helped my opponent there, but hey, it is fun. It is a cool idea. Might do a Blaine deck at some point once I have the cards for it, but that's the thing with TCG Pocket. You got to get the cards by yourself. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Again, if you want to try the deck out for yourself, the deck list is in the description below. Otherwise, like and subscribe if you have not already, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night, everybody.